Hey guys, Mike with Old Iron. Finally got the mullet going. There's gonna be a video coming out on that. And not bad, not bad. Occasional miss. I think we got a little bit of a sticky valve. We'll have to figure that out. But I want to get the scoop on here. And I'm going to take you off the tripod here in a second. I'm going to show you exactly what goes on with these things. And what I think I'm going to do. Really haven't 100% figured it out yet, but we're going to figure it out together. In worst case scenario, I got this at one of the swap meets for 40 bucks. I'm not 40 bucks. I mean, that, you know, and I'll just get a IROC hood or something for it, or just get a one-piece steel one, or whatever, you know. But I've got it, so I figured I'd mess with it. I figured it'd make a good video. So let me take you out to here. I'll show you exactly what's going on. All right, now this scoop is pressed and made for a third-gen Camaro. Okay, had a little sticker on the inside, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm gonna show you what the deal is. When they stamp these, they stamp them flat. All right, and the hood's not flat. As you can see, got a gap there, and we got a hell of a gap up there. Okay, so after walking around this thing for a couple days, what I'm going to try being the key word here, guys. I've got marks going down here. I've got them exactly on the same side, same place on the other side. I'm going to relief cut it, and I'm hoping as I relief cut it, I can get it to lay down. Now the thing that's kind of scaring me on that is you've got this right in the middle. You got this this ridge in the middle. I don't think I got to move it down enough to where I'm going to kink that ridge. But what we're going to do first is I've got about a half dozen places. We're going to relief cut it. We're going to set it back up here, and we're going to see what happens. That's what I get for cheaping out, but we'll get it. And I mean, this thing is never going to be a show car. I'm going to use this daily. You know what I mean? I just want it kind of cool. It's going to have a paint job on it, hopefully a step or two above a Mako. You know what I mean? I'm not getting wild with it because it's going to go to the grocery store. It's going to be in a Walmart parking lot and everything else. So you know it's going to get beat up, you know? Maybe someday, I don't know. Just kind of depends. Maybe someday we'll throw a V8 in here. But I'm going to run it with the 6-cylinder. It'll be good on gas. It is what it is, you know what I mean? Just a cool little hop around town type thing. But I'm going to get the hood done, and we'll prep the hood out, and I'll either flat black it or we'll just leave it in primer. And then as I get time in between the other projects, I'll come in here and, you know, maybe I'll do this fender or, you know, do the front clip, get that kind of prepped in primer, go around the whole thing, and then one day, hopefully in the fall, we'll pull it in here, block sand, you know, hit it with high build, block sand the whole thing, and then throw some paint on it. But it is what it is. I just don't want to blast it. I don't want to blast it apart right now to do a paint job is what it amounts to. I've got too many other things going on. So we've got Reese working outside on the frame for the Frogger. And I want to free up this garage space, so I don't want this sitting in here for months on end, you know. So let me put you back on the tripod, and we'll do the relief cuts on this, and we'll see where we stand. Don't have much room in here, guys, I'm telling you. What I did is I cut it right to the crest of this edge here. I might have to go a little higher up. I don't think so. We're going to find out. And the measurements I have right now, I don't know if these are relevant or not. We're not going to know until it actually works, I guess. But I got 11 1/8, 21 3/4, 30 1/2, 35.5 and 38.5 is what I'm working with right now. And I transferred those measurements to the other side. I'm going to cut those too. That way the relief cuts should be in the exact same place on each side. So that's where we're at right now. It does allow it to flex more. We're just going to see, guys. Alright guys, we got our relief cuts in. I got to do a couple more. I'm going to do one at 41, one at 43.5, and one at 47. Now these measurements are from this front lip. Another thing we're going to have to do is get a pair of duckbills or something. And this flange is roughly at a 90. Well, the hood does this. You know, if you're standing in front of the car, the hood has a little bit of a contour to it. So it's not a 90. So I'm going to have to tweak with this lip a little bit to get it to lay flat. But it's coming along. I mean, it's down now. Yeah, I mean once it's riveted and stuff like that, and it's going to be glued down too with panel adhesive. But it's a hell of a lot closer than what it was. And I mean, even the front, you push it down about like that, you can still see there's probably about a 1/4 inch on the corners. And it's just stressing this out too much. That's why I figured 2 more relief cuts and maybe a small one here should do it on each side. So we'll get that done, and then we'll start prepping out this hood and prepping that out. And baby steps, little victories, guys. It's coming along. All right, guys. We did the rest of the relief cuts up in the front. I kind of bent that lip down a little bit. I still got to tweak it a little bit because it's rolled up like right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's when it's stamped, it kind of took this flange and kind of made it go up instead of down or at a 90. So I got to tweak that a little bit. And I got it screwed down on the 4 corners for reference.
Beauty.
We back cut it, and I slid the whole thing this way. Now I'm going to pull it back off. I got to prep the hood. We're going to cut 2 holes up on this side for the actual induction. We're going to make it half-ass functional. But we're also going to do something down here at the end, because what's going to happen is moisture is going to get trapped down here. So we got to figure out something to do down here too. Alright guys, this is what we got going on. I etched the hood. Now I set this back on. It's got a screw in each corner just to keep it centered and everything. You got to find center on your hood. You got to make sure that your scoop is centered. So you want the same measurement from a reference point over here to say the edge of the hood. Same with the back on each side to square it up. And you want to make sure that your line here follows your line here. And no, we're not screwing it down. That's just to hold it down in place. I took a red marker, just a Sharpie, and I outlined it. So now I'm going to pull this. I got to prep and paint the piece that's under this, okay? And then we got to prep the scoop itself. And then once we do that, we'll bond it and rivet it to the hood. So that's where we're at. And we getting there. We getting there, man. All right, guys. Once you get your scoop marked out, you get your line on your hood. You're gonna take some tape, kind of match it up to the flange on the scoop, because you need to keep this bare metal. And we need to prep and paint this area, because once we bond that scoop to the hood, you're never going to get to this again. You know what I mean? When you apply the adhesive, you've got to cover all the bare metal areas, because if you don't, it will rust. So you want to put the bead down of the panel adhesive, and then take a, I call them acid brushes, either an acid brush or a flux brush, a little silver black bristled ones that you get at Harbor Freight for like, you know, 20 for $5 or some crap like that. Grab one of those, and you want to smooth it out and make sure you got all the bare metal spots where the two pieces are going to make contact have to have adhesive on them. But we're going to take this out real quick, and that way we can start prepping the center here, if I can find the end. Now we're start prepping out this area. We'll get that painted, and then we can prep out the top and the underneath of the scoop, get the underneath of the scoop painted, and stick it back on here. We'll pre-drill everything for the rivets, pull it off, put the adhesive on, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, we got the center prepped out. We got everything taped. I got pilot holes roughly in these. I'm gonna have to kind of straighten them out as I go. But on the underside of the hood, this is where the cutouts were for, if I'm not mistaken, the IROC. There's places underneath there. You see it when you pop the hood if you don't have your heat shield on there. I need a new heat shield anyway. So when I get a new one for the underside of the hood, I'll just cut out for these. Or you might be able to get them with them already cut out. I really don't know, to be honest. But I figure if I'm going through all this work, I might as well make it at least half-ass functional. And I put a couple weep holes in the front because I was afraid of water sitting down in there. So we're going to cut these up. We'll clean those up, and then we'll finish prepping this, and we'll paint it. And then we'll be, after we prep the scoop and paint the backside, we'll be ready to put it on here. We got the center painted. It's by far not perfect, but nobody's going to see it. You know, I mean, once the scoop's on, you're not going to see it. I just wanted to seal this up. I figured do it black, that way if you're in the car and you're looking down into it, you really don't see anything. But now we got everything pre-drilled. We're going to use the 3M panel bonding adhesive, and it's part number 08115. This stuff will work on steel, fiberglass, your dog. I mean, you can stick anything together with this stuff, really. You do not want to use this on structural panels. So if you got like a unibody car, you don't want to hang the quarters with this stuff. The nice thing about this stuff is it's actually got these little tiny microscopic beads in there. And what they're for is they're mixed in with the goo. And when you clamp the panels, it doesn't give you zero clearance, if that makes any sense. So in other words, you're not going to squeeze all the adhesive out because you got those little glass beads. And it actually keeps a gap, so to speak.
We like glass beads.
Yeah, they're not huge. You'll never see them, but they're in there. So I'm going to start laying this stuff down. He's going to take, it's what I call an acid brush. All right, flux brush, whatever. All right, take one of these, and you've got to smooth it all out. We're going to be doing this area in between the black and the red line, and we need to get full coverage on this, and we need to get full coverage on the flange of the bottom side of the scoop. Anything that does not have this on it and it's bare metal is going to rust. Now once he gets the bottom of the scoop, I'll paint it and smooth it out. We'll set it on there. We'll zip our 4 corner screws, get it in place, and then we'll start popping those rivets in. And then we're going to let it set overnight, and then we'll start doing the actual body work to flow it into the hood. Go on passenger side. Okay, this big old boy. It should be half-ass close.
Yep, we got some grip here on the hood.
Yeah, I got to sand it anyway. He does a good deal.
Get your setting screws, the 4 corners, then a riveting you will go. sewer rat? Or was that from SeaWorld?
Sewer rat. It's all good.
I can feel the love. The whole thing about any project is to have fun. Most guys will jump into this. I do a lot of projects with my veteran friends who are disabled. We're all disabled. And we have a lot of fun. There's Mama son. You better have it looking good once you get in here.
It's my car, I don't care. Come on.
Patience.
Yeah.
Patience, young grasshopper. I love it when he gets all emotional like this. He's been doing this for 40 years.
You mean emotional?
There you go.
Alright, now all we need is 200 rivets.
You get to play Kermit the Frog now. You're gonna rivet.
Keep your day job, dude. Keep your day job.
I'm retired.
Huh?
I'm retired. I don't have a day job.
Alright guys, that's it as far as mounting is concerned. We'll do another video on actually finishing off and blending it in, which I'm actually going to start today. But it's down, it's sealed, it's not going anywhere. So now we'll blend it in and hopefully finish off this hood and today, tomorrow. something like that. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. If you want to follow along on the projects, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Does not cost you a dime, and we'd really appreciate it. We appreciate each and every last one of you guys, and we will see you soon.